Cosmic Girl 101 signing on for the Aries May Astrology of 2024. In this video, what we're going to be discussing is the Sun, the new moon and the full moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter ingressing into the sign of Gemini, and Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius. Your ruling planet Mars, Aries rising, is direct all month of May in your first house. So energy is picking up, determination, you're cutting crap out, you're really determined to get on top of your world, your physical health, your appearance. You'll be very sharp and adept when it comes to your mental landscape. So you'll be a lot more alert. Your decision making will be acute and swift. Other people will see you as a mover and shaker and getting things done. And quite simply, it's because Mars is organically connected to Aries because it's its home sign, and you will be very active and busy. So you are the one to go to for, what do you think about this? And you'll just be able to act on something quite swiftly and acutely and be able to make decisions on the fly. On the 3rd of May, Mars is sextiling Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So Mars sextile Pluto is great for cementing something concrete with a group or an organization, a friendship, a dream, a goal, or aspiration for the future that benefits you, because that 1st and 11th house are in a sextile. This is a great day. Enjoy it the 3rd of May. So Mars isn't having a lot of aspects from my perspective as an astrologer this month, which is good because it's giving you back your mojo and your drive, and you may be creating a lot of attention with people romantically as well, because Mars can be pretty feisty, pretty sassy and sexy, and wouldn't be surprised if you become a little bit more popular. The Sun is transiting in Taurus, your 2nd house. So that's sun lit up for 4 weeks until the 20th of May. So for the first 3 weeks of May, the Sun in Taurus has you hyper vigilant about building wealth and security for yourself, knowing your self-worth and self-value, really sifting through, recalibrating your financial situation. So this is a nice transit for Aries rising when it's in Taurus, your 2nd house of building security for the future for you. So on the 20th of May, that Sun ingresses into the sign of Gemini until June 20. And this is your 3rd house. This is good for being busy if you felt like you've been dragging the ball, being a little bit lazy, haven't had a lot of energy, you've just been concentrating on facts and figures and data with that 2nd house topics and your resources. This is where you now start connecting again with people and really, educating yourself and learning new technologies, purchasing new technologies. It's just a lot of busyness in your everyday environment and a lot of activity regarding short distance travel. So you're on the move and you really are communicating. Your mental dexterity is sharp. You're really enjoying having a lot of dialogue with different people. So enjoy that transit when the Sun is transiting Gemini, your 3rd house. The moon's this month of May. On the 7th of May, there's a new moon in Taurus. So a new beginning, a new reset in building something for the future connected to resources, assets, and investments of benefit to you. You could also have a lucrative opportunity, contract, agreement come across your table on this day for you to consider. But it's a new moon, it's a new beginning. So you're ready to start something new in regards to self-worth and self-value. So be conscious on this day and really drop into knowing you are someone that can produce a lot of energy, that can create a lot of wealth and power for yourself for your future, especially when it comes to resources. So building solid ground. On the 23rd, we've got a full moon in Sagittarius, your 9th house, Aries rising. This is great. So you can see the end of a academic pursuit that you've been connected to, like in a higher institution of learning, universities, You could get a reward, or this is the graduation point, so you've completed something here, well done. This also sees the possibility, if you've been involved with media or publishing, you could be getting your moment in the spotlight, which is great. Or you could be cutting away from something that you've been doing for a long time regarding media or publishing. So it's almost like if you've been doing a podcast or wanting to write a book or get a book published, it's either going to come to fruition or it's simply not. It's either one or the other. But a full moon is great because it's the release point, it's the accolade point, it's the accomplishment point of the cycle of the moon. And what is that? Well, quite simply, we've put a lot of emotional energy, effort, and time towards something that we're passionate about. And Jupiter's the ruler of this lunation, and he's transiting in the sign of Taurus, your second house of finances, assets, resources, things that benefit you. So I think you'll have a really nice day on the 23rd of May, quite simply because Jupiter in Taurus is very beneficial, and I would expect that you're going to have a little win, or definitely some sort of success or a successful completion. Venus is busy this month. She's got a lot of connections going on, and Venus is about, for Aries rising, the second house of money, finance, self-worth and self-value. And boy, oh boy, does Venus value herself and know her worth. And Venus also rules your seventh house of negotiations, contracts and agreements with other people, open enemies, relationships, romantic or otherwise, and partnerships, who we shake hands with and go, this is what we do together. Venus ruling that seventh house. Well, Venus opening up the month of May is continuing her transit in the sign of Taurus, which is her home sign, your second house. So this is good as far as relationships, contracts, romantic partners, things seem to be in flow and have a lot to do with your assets and finances as well. So partners' finances and assets could be highlighted when you've got Venus transiting that second house for you, Aries rising, because it rules the seventh house. Well, on the 1st of May, straight out of the gate, Venus is having an argument with Pluto. And what's the argument about? Well, Pluto's in Aquarius, and this is your 11th house of beneficiaries, people that benefit you in regards to your career and public image. It's also the house that's connected with your friendships, who's your buddies, your dreams and aspirations and goals for your future. It's like a team effort towards a goal for the future, or just a personal one. It's also to do with groups and organizations that you're connected with. So what is Venus arguing with Pluto about? Well, it's about changing something. The dynamics need to change regarding your finances, resources, even getting you respect for what you do, and recognition in regards to a group or organization that you're connected with, or even a friend. It's like it almost feels like, seriously, are you not notice how beneficial I am? Well, what is your problem today? So the first is just it's an annoying day. On the 13th, you've got Venus sextiling Saturn in Pisces. This is really nice. And the reason I say it's really nice is because Venus and Saturn is about maturity and acknowledging self-worth and self-value, and not letting finances slip through the cracks or be taken advantage of by a partner, or you undermining yourself when it comes to your self-worth and self-value and your finances and assets. So I like this day for recognition of, I am worth it, and I need to be more disciplined, and I need to be able to say no when it comes to draining resources or time, or partnerships draining me. On the 18th, Venus conjuncts Uranus and Taurus. And again, she's still in domicile in her home sign of Taurus, your second house. And This day could be, this is a mixed bag for me as an astrologer. Venus conjunct Uranus. Uranus, odd, strange, peculiar, against the status quo, swift, acute, abrupt. Venus, harmony, unity, pleasure, joy, abundance, fertile energy. A surprise pregnancy. Simply something as strange as that could come from nowhere. Hearing about a surprise pregnancy. This could also see a surprise that is quite lucrative in regards to a contract or an agreement or an offer or a partnership or a romantic gesture that throws you, or partners being really weird on this day, and Venus conjuncts Uranus in Taurus. But all jokes aside, because it's your second house, this looks positive from my perspective. It's positive, it's grounded, it's secure, it's safe. Venus is going to ensure that she's on top of her game when she meets up with Uranus, because Uranus will want to shake things up and change things, and Venus will be a lot more in charge here when she meets Uranus and says, cool your jets. I know my worth, I know my value. Your proposition or your changes that you're trying to impart on me are way too fast. I'm not ready. So it's a peculiar day when Venus conjuncts Uranus and Taurus. Good luck with that one. On the 23rd, Venus, that beautiful Venus in Taurus, is conjuncting Jupiter in your second house. All right, Aries rising. Now, this is a day to circle in your calendar. The two benefics in ancient astrology, Venus and Jupiter were known as the greater and lesser benefics. So when the two benefics get together, which is helpful energy, helpful connections, you may have a surprise offer that's extremely lucrative. This is a windfall day. All of a sudden finances appear, resources appear. If you felt that you haven't had the support, it comes back. This looks like a fantastic, auspicious, uplifting, optimistic day. Circle it in your calendar. Jupiter, Venus conjunction in your second house of finances, assets, resources, things that benefit you. Enjoy it. I think it's going to be awesome. Venus on the same day ingresses into Gemini until June 17 of 2024. Venus is going into Gemini, which is your third house, Aries rising. This is where you find a lot of pleasure and joy in connecting with many different things. Your local community, learning something, new technology, investing money in new technology. You might buy a new car. You might spend money on a new course, or you just might be feeling very, very social and loving life when Venus ingresses into Gemini, your third house. Enjoy this transit. This is fantastic. So yeah, from 23rd of May to the 17th of June. It's going to be an awesome transit for you, Aries rising. Enjoy that when Venus goes into Gemini. On the 25th of May, Venus in Gemini is trining retrograde Pluto in Aquarius, so your 3rd and 11th house. Now, at the beginning of the month, straight out of the gate, there was a problem. Only you know what this was. You are the expert in you and your experience. Well, whatever that problem was, whatever the drama was, whatever the jarring energy was, and what it was about and who it was with, eases up and comes into more harmony and flow now. Things are better. Why? Because Venus is really enjoying connecting and communicating. She's more open and receptive and ready to partner up and be more in flow with Pluto. So on this day, you can expect that your local community, things that you have been busily injecting your time and effort and energy into, connects with groups, organisations, friends, and benefits that assist you with your career and public image. So a great day, the 25th of May. Mercury, Aries, Mercury. This planet is the ruler of Gemini, and this planet is also the ruler of Virgo. And Gemini is your third house as an Aries rising, and Virgo is your sixth house as an Aries rising. Third house, as we've been previously discussing, it's a lot of connection, short distance travel, joy, education, technology, communication, mental exchanges and ideas with other people and the self, being mentally sharp. And we've got Mercury ruling that Virgo, your sixth house, which is all about work, health and services that you provide to other people, injury, sickness. So careful with that sixth house, because you could just be working so much that you throw your back out, for example. And it's also to do with pets, believe it or not. But it's also to do with co-workers and connecting with people in your workplace as well. That's sixth house. It's a busy place, but it's like where you put a lot of energy and effort into things that are outside of yourself, things that need a lot of time and effort, and the sixth house is a busy place. And Mercury rules this for you, your sixth house. That aside, let's get into why that was important, that bit of information. Well, opening up the month of May, Mercury is continuing its transit in the sign of Aries, which is your first house. So Aries rising, you may have had an uptick in connection with people, feeling a lot more sharper, like you're thinking on your feet, you're a mover and shaker, you've got the ideas, you're connecting with people and really, nutting out problems, looking at the data and the stats and deciphering what's working, what's not working. You're very acute. You also might be aware of your mental health clearing up. So you might be really, it almost feels like the light bulb's been switched on. So you're just more alert and active. It's like the brain's like, oh, you've got a brain, it's awake, it's working now. And because the first house has to do with your physical appearance and how people see you and connect with you, well, there's a lot more connection with communication with people. So you're seen as someone that is intelligent, they have the answers, so people might be really leaning on you for support when Mercury is transiting in Aries, your first house. On the 15th of May, Mercury is going to be ingressing into Taurus, your second house, until June the 3rd of 2024. Just back to, I digress. Mercury also ruling your sixth house. You may have had an uptick in your workplace or connecting with co-workers as well. That is also a big possibility. Mercury transiting your first house has a lot to do with your workplace, that sixth house. So you may have had a lot of activity going on with work and continuing a lot of activity in your workplace when Mercury is transiting Aries, your first house, into the 15th of May. Okay, now Mercury is going into the sign of Taurus on the 15th to June 3rd. And this is all about looking at the stats, data, and details about your finances, assets, resources, investments, really nutting out your financial space, really getting on top of things. You might be possibly looking at large purchases or inquiring about investments when you've got Mercury transiting Taurus, your second house. On the 17th, Mercury in Taurus squares Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, which is your second house, and your 11th house in a square aspect. Problems with friends and groups and people that you are connected with. What's the problem? Communications offline. It's not there. There's stats and analytics aren't available or being withheld on this day. Frustrating day. You can get through it, but note the 17th of May, just a shitty day. On the 27th of May, Mercury in Taurus sextiles Saturn in Pisces. So your second house and 12th house in a sextile aspect. This could be communication that is now being revealed to you that might have been blocked or withheld for some time. It could be a financial return. Could also see you remembering. It's almost like, oh, I remember all the way back from the past, this person or this event, and someone from the past might be coming back that connects with you, or it could be an old idea or a concept about your financial situation or an investment that is possibly available now or more in flow and harmony with you. On the 31st of May, ending the month, we've got Mercury in Taurus, your second house, conjuncting Uranus in Taurus, your second house. Sharp, acute, electrifying ideas and concepts that are so offbeat that it might throw people off around you, but you're ready for something new and dynamic. This day is for making a breakthrough. If you've had trouble communicating or withholding communication, this is the day where you might just say it. This is also a day where there could be like peculiar thoughts tracking through your mental space. Mental health is highlighted here, so take care of your mental health, Aries rising. And also just decision making could be very acute and swift on this day, the 31st of May. Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. Well, these guys need a mention because they're part of our solar system and they do affect our personal birth charts. Well, Aries rising, Saturn is moving direct in the sign of Pisces, your 12th house. So he's still working behind the scenes in that 12th house for you, helping you mature, helping you being very disciplined, tap into your learned wisdom and experience. So it benefits you. Neptune is direct in Pisces, your 12th house as well, helping you getting creative and transforming outdated habits and ways of being, things from the past, being a little bit more optimistic and looking towards the future instead of sitting back in the past. So Neptune's doing his magic in your 12th house, and Uranus is direct in Taurus, your second house. So Uranus is still throwing curveballs every now and then, or getting your attention to shake things up from the status quo in regards to you being so rigid about your financial situation. You might need to look at different investments or do things differently when it comes to your assets and possessions. And a side note, Uranus is in Taurus, your second house, until April of 2026. Let's talk about Pluto. Aries rising, Pluto has been transiting in Aquarius, your 11th house, which sextiles your first house. So it's a benefit to you. It's helpful. And what is Pluto helpful for in the 11th house of Aquarius? It's helping you break out of the status quo and do things differently, connect with different people, get rid of the old and bring in the new energy, the new organizations, the new connections that are going to be more beneficial to you. You're removing outdated connections and you're moving in different directions. And Pluto is just encouraging you to let things die organically when it comes to, people that you thought were of benefit to you, and take on different spaces and connect with different people so you can have results when it comes to your career, public image, or just feeling like you're on the right path with your right tribe. That's what Pluto's trying to do for you and take you into a whole different environment. Well, Pluto's going retrograde on the 2nd of May until September 1st of 2024. So with Pluto retrograding in that 11th house, trying to change things up, may see you actually having a heightened awareness about things transforming in friendships and your connections with groups and societies, and like really getting down to the depths of going, who is my tribe? Who am I connecting with? What's working, what's not when it comes to my career and how I'm seen. So it might be people dragging you down or holding you back, and you need to acknowledge that and really drop into some private time behind the scenes. So maybe even withdrawing from groups or friends that just may not be present anymore, or you just may not be that engaged when Pluto's retrograde from the 2nd of May to September 1st for you, Aries rising. Pluto's all about, the death to rebirth something new, but it's powerful. And it also is associated with wealth. So we want wealthy, abundant support systems, be it friends, groups, organizations. We need that so we feel connected, safe and secure. So Pluto's trying to do its magic in your 11th house. But in the retrograde, you could just be rethinking, taking the necessary time out before you move forward. And that won't be a little while yet. So hang in there. But Pluto's magical because he's transforming something of wealth and value connected to groups, organizations, friendships, dreams, aspirations, goals for the future, and people that benefit you in your career and public image. Lastly, it's a long video, isn't it, Aries rising? Well, there's a lot going on. Jupiter has been transiting in your sign, in your 2nd house, being Taurus, and continues its transit this month, opening up the month of May until the 25th of May. So not too long before Jupiter leaves your 2nd house. What does this mean, Aries rising? You've learnt the lessons. You have planted seeds possibly in starting something new that builds your economic status. You have connected and made some very powerful connections regarding work that you do, and really starting to understand your self-worth and self-value and not letting finances drain you, but empower you. And on the 25th of May, it's ingressing into the sign of Gemini. This is Mercury's sign. And in ancient astrology, Jupiter was known as in its detriment because it's far away from its sign of Sagittarius, because Gemini is the opposite sign of Sagittarius. So Jupiter's basically operating and under the rules of Mercury, which is Gemini's house. So Jupiter's in Gemini, being very busy, very active, very dynamic, very interested in many different facets of life, wants to learn a lot, really wants to expand and grow. So a very, very busy time when Jupiter goes into your 3rd house, Aries rising. Start taking your vitamins now. Take care of your mental health, because there's about to be a serious surge of energy connected to short distance traveling, your local environment, education, technology, siblings, cousins, connecting with family, connecting with your tribe. Enjoy the transit of Jupiter in Gemini. It's going to be explosive. You will feel it. The momentum will be hard to miss. There will definitely be an uptick in a surge of optimism for your future regarding those 3rd house topics. So this transit lasts until May 25th of 2025. Because the third house sextiles your first house, it's going to benefit you. So enjoy that transit with Jupiter transiting Gemini, your third house. Cosmic Girl 101 signing off. Have a blessed and magical May, Aries rising. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of adjustments and change because the planets are doing a lot and changing a lot. But you've got this. I think this is a pretty good period for Aries rising. You've got opportunities here to really connect with people that help you. Your mind's sharp, you're on fire. Mars in your first house all month. It's a great month, Aries rising. Enjoy it. Thanks for listening. I'm Cosmic Girl 101, and I'll catch you next video.